Classic rock that was truly hard and heavy.
I'm on a highway, I'm going off the rails on a crazy train.
AC/DC, Metallica, Led Zeppelin, Guns N' Roses, and more. Just open the free iHeartRadio app and search Classic Hard Rock.
iHeartRadio.
Free never sounded so good.
Time to give stuff away. Time to give stuff away.
All right, MMS and Big Hair Wednesday. You get it every week with Stansbury. Go back to the 80s, all that glammy hair rock stuff. Big Hair Wednesday presenting Wasp and Armored Saint. Not exactly on the glam side, more on the buzzsaw crotch side. But I think Blackie Lawless and company are celebrating a 40th anniversary tour. Wasp and Armored Saint are going to play the world-famous Agora next month. It's Tuesday, November the 19th. AgoraCleveland.com's got all the info for you. This pair of tickets for you if you're caller 10. Wasp and Armored Saint. Good luck. 216-578-1007 or 800-348-1007.
All I know is this violates every canon of respectable broadcasting.
This is the Alan Cox Show.
On 100.7 WMMS.
I got more money for you in about 7 or 8 minutes. Courtesy of the Buzzard Bookie, $1,000. 30 past every hour, you go in these keywords. So don't waste them. You got a life to lead, right? You can't always have your ears peeled. I'll have people text me and I'll go, hey, you didn't play the keyword. Yeah, I did. Missed it, homeboy. I don't want you to miss out on anything. We'll get to Mayor's Science Fair in a few minutes, too. Do you see the guy get kicked in the nuts by the horse?
No.
There's an Instagram account called Tour National Parks, something about national parks. This was in Maryland. And it's an old dude in a Speedo. I mean, every part of this I love. I couldn't love it more. Because we're always talking about people who are trying to mess with animals when they shouldn't. You know, there's signs on the beach. Please don't touch the wild horses. People have to do it. They just can't leave it alone. They think they're going to be the one to... Bikini-clad gentleman in Maryland. He ignored all the signs. Hey, there are wild horses in this park. Do not touch them. And this horse, a full-on hoof to this guy's meats and cheeses. And he's an old dude in a Speedo. I'll play it for you. Watch him. It's fantastic. How? Right to the cojones. Yep, down for the count.
These are my favorite kind of videos.
Yes.
Of course, people getting annihilated.
How? Just don't touch the wild horses. It's not hard to consider or, you know. I mean, it's not like it got him on the outside of the thigh. It got him full on.
It's also one of those things where...
Right on home plate.
Like, just knowing how horses are, like, you don't walk behind a horse, ever.
No.
Is that a rule?
Yes. Horses are skittish.
Yeah.
My older daughter was an equestrian for a long time. I mean, she rode horses. She finally gave it up like a year and a half ago. So, I mean, from the age of 4, she was on a horse up until, you know, she was 16, 17 years old. And so she was there, even if you'd been riding for a long time, even if she was riding a horse she knew and it knew her, they can get spooked, man. And they're big animals that are nothing but muscle. And they're like, so for this beach, which is on an island there in Maryland, there's all these signs. Hey, these horses live on the island. The Assateague horses, and there's signs everywhere. Hey, if you're too close, you can get kicked. If these horses get spooked, they're very large. Don't let your children get that close to them, right? Feeding them can cause behavioral changes. And horses become unafraid of people. So they're like, don't mistake that for them being tame. You know, they're not, they might get spooked at quick movements, but they're, you know, big picture, not scared of people. So it's like, I always think of Harlan Williams in Half Baked. He feeds the cube of sugar to the horse.
Mm-hmm. I didn't know he was a diabetic.
Yeah. So, but
Just
the
about
guy in the
entire-
Speedo getting full on kicked in the cojones by this horse. Yes, Mike in Parma.
Hey, Alan, what's up?
What's up, pal?
Hey, we actually went to that beach a few years back, and it is kind of wild to see those horses kind of walking around. And there's quite a few people that are actually like, you know, laying out on the beach and stuff. So we actually encountered right as we go into this entrance area, some people had put down a picnic basket, all their, you know, stuff that they were going to eat. And then the horses kind of came up, and just a smaller horse, and they were all looking. And I don't know if this was the male horse, the father that came up. He just walked over, stood over their blanket, and just opened up like a fire hose all over everything. And it was the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah. Just full on drenched by a horse.
And people's expressions go from like wonderment of being around the horse to just horror when that amount of liquid comes out of an animal.
Yeah, when you're face to face with nature in its purest form, it can really take the bloom off the rose there, as it were.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Mike.
Thanks.
Thank you. It's Mike in Parma. Yeah, you got to be careful there. If you're not able to call us live, a lot of people will opt for the voicemails. You can always use the Alan Cox Show After Hours line. That is 216-986-8903.
Can you please, for the love of God, stop playing the drunk who sings the songs 6 times a day? It's bad enough that he's pathetic and has no job and lives at home and probably does nothing all day, but you got to air him and give him airtime, and he calls more often and sings these stupid songs. Like, my God, man, do you not have anything else you can do for a segment? Christ.
Whoa.
Well, you know what that means.
Was that sober, Brian?
That was himself.
Yeah. Hey, man.
He's at a battle. He's at odds with himself.
Yeah.
Quit playing that clown.
I got plenty of other things I can do, but you know what happens when people tell me not to do something?
It only makes you want to do it more.
I have a sickness.
Mm-hmm.
I only want to do it more. This is for you, sir.
I make my living on the evening news. Just give me something I can use. We've only just begun. Who's gonna drive you home tonight?
Oh, man. It just puts a little Twitter in my shorts every time.
Ding, ding.
Thank you, Brian. And thank you, sir. Let me give you this money here. It's $1,000. It's courtesy of the Buzzard bookie. Every one of these keywords got $1,000. I hope it goes right into your pocket. The weekend's coming up. Who knows what'll happen? Good luck.
This is your chance to bet with the Buzzard Bookie and win $1,000 now. Enter this nationwide keyword at WMMS.com. Bank. That's bank. Enter it now at WMMS.com.
Also, it's very unfair to Brian to assume that, one, he's drunk, that he doesn't live on his own or have his own situation.
That's right. I've got again, for people who are not consumed with rage over hearing him, you might have heard me mention that his calls, as frequent as they are, still really run the gamut. So some of them he'll just be playing guitar. Some of them it's more kind of flamenco. It's an acoustic thing. Other times it's plugged in.
You've just been preferring this.
Yeah, because sometimes he'll call and just rattle off some non sequitur, and there's nothing I can do with that. But it's when he really gets into his feels and start singing. Now, do I do it a lot? Of course I do. But it will run its course. Sir, trust me that I know what I'm doing, okay? It'll run its course. But for now, we'll continue to have fun with it.
Walk with me, sunshine, it's a skippity-doo-da-da day. I'm the happiest girl in the whole U.S. of A.
Aww.
Hey, Terry.
Happy.
I'm not going to yuck that guy's yum. What's going on, Terry?
Well, we were listening to you talk about the guy getting kicked in the cojones with the horse, and my son said, you've got to call and tell him the story. I teach a class on observation and how 5 people can watch something happen and you'll get 5 different stories.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I used to train horses for a living, and I was cleaning a horse's hoof one time, and she kicked me, and I got up and punched her in the nose.
Yep.
Well, my brother tells the story the day my sister knocked her horse out, and he tells the story that when I punched her in the nose, she went unconscious. But what really happened?
Yeah, you were like
very...
So he tells it like you were Mongo in Blazing Saddles.
Exactly.
Yeah. So was that how old were you? Were a grown woman then, Terry, right? I mean, you were training and yeah. So was that just a reflexive move on your part, or is that something people don't know? Like, you're supposed to punch a shark in the nose to disorient them. I've never heard about that for horses, and I've been around them.
Horses' messages are very sensitive, and if you can't let them get away with certain things. The horse can hurt you really badly when it kicks you. I mean, people die from that.
Right.
So she kicked me, and here's the lesson: you don't kick me. And
okay, so that was my question. So that's a legitimate move. That's not just something that you did reflexively as a reaction.
Oh no, I did that on purpose.
Gotcha. Okay. And did the horse react in a way that you had anticipated?
Well, she did kind of drop her head down to the ground and shake it, which is why my brother thinks she went unconscious, I guess. But she never kicked me again.
Yeah, she couldn't remember. She didn't realize she was a horse after that. She didn't know what was going on. She was...
No.
Yeah.
Hey, wait a minute, that little thing.
Right. Okay, thank you, Terry.
You're welcome. Have a good evening.
You too. How could I not have a good evening? I just heard about a grown woman who punched a horse and knocked it out.
Jeez.
Follow that, Mary, with your science fair.
I'm not going to be able to.
Now it's time for...
Science Fair!
All right.
Okay, with the weather getting spooky, it's chilly out. A lot of people talking about bats. They're everywhere. So I decided we're going to do some bat trivia today.
Ooh.
Okay? So you guys are involved in this, so pay attention. Wake up, okay?
Crap.
Yeah, wake up, Bill. Put your phone down. Pay attention. Here we go. Ready?
Yeah.
Number 1. Bats have very few natural predators. Of them, this is the deadliest. Is it A, owls, B, snakes, C, humans, or D, disease?
I will say owls.
Okay, Bill?
I'm going to go humans.
Well, you're both wrong. The answer is disease.
All right, fine.
Wait, is
dis-ease? You mean disease or dis-ease? Like
Dis-ease.
they kind of feel a little bit out of it. Okay.
When they're feeling a little uncomfortable, the weather's changing,
Yep.
that actually kills them. Yeah, no,
All right.
Wait, but is a disease a predator?
Yes, that's what it was listed as.
Well, that's what they're saying. They have so few natural predators. I mean, disease is natural. Okay.
There's millions of bats dying from what is called white nose syndrome. And it's a disease named for like a white fungus that grows on the muzzle and the bats of wings. And it causes infected bats to have abnormal daytime activity and experience a cascade of physiologic changes that include weight loss, dehydration, electrolyte imbalances, and even death. Which is interesting to me. Yeah, I said staying up all night into the morning, losing weight, not drinking water. Sounds like the same white nose syndrome affecting finance bros and hairstylists.
There you go. Yeah.
Okay. True or false? Blood-sucking bats are real.
True.
True, Bill? True or false? Blood-sucking bats are real.
True.
True. Yes, very true.
Vampire bats.
Vampire bats are the only mammal besides Jeffrey Dahmer to exist on a diet of blood. Yes. They feed on blood from sleeping cows, pigs, horses, and birds. And here's the crazy thing. If they can't find blood for 2 nights in a row, 48 hours, they die. They can't go 48 hours without blood. But
so
luckily,
dramatic.
I know. Drama queens. Luckily, female bats can be very generous, and a well-fed female bat will often regurgitate blood to share it with others in exchange for, quote, pleasant-feeling grooming. So this is also known in the bat community as getting your Red Wings.
Puking up blood to get something in return. I like it.
Yeah, why not? All right, last one. Question 3. Without bats, we would not have which of the following alcoholic spirits? Is it tequila, vodka, gin, or whiskey?
I'm going to say gin.
Okay. Bill?
I'm gonna go. I'll go tequila.
Bill's right. It is tequila.
Hey. They regurgitate the blood on the agave plant?
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what they do. No, tequila is made from the agave plant, which relies primarily on bats to pollinate its flowers. Agave and bats have co-evolved over thousands of years, and now, as a result, agave is one of the very few plants that pollinates at night, which is crazy. So the next time you have one too many tequila shots, fist fight your cousin, throw up on someone's shoes, or pass out in the bathroom stall of your favorite bar, tell the arresting officer it wasn't your fault and to go blame the bats.
Fair Science Fair! I learned a lot there. You know, as big of a fan of tequila as I am, you'd think that I would have known that, but I didn't.
Yes.
I was thinking maybe they had something to do with the juniper berry.
No.
The agave plant.
The
I'll tell you what.
agave plant is what they will
You know how I got that
pollinate.
one?
How?
Guessing.
Well, yes, guessing, but I was like, well, there's a lot of bats in From Dusk Till Dawn, so I'm going to go with tequila.
Oh, hey, it worked. However, you arrived at the correct answer. When we went to the Pittsburgh aviary a few weeks back for our little penguin experience or whatever, they have bats. They have big bats.
Those are called fox bats. Or
Something like that. They're
Yeah.
huge, and I've seen bats before. You know, when you go to Austin, there's this bridge,
Flying
famously.
fox bat.
Yeah, where at night all the bats come out from underneath this bridge in Austin. It's really cool. But to see them there, and they were sleeping, so they're hanging upside down. And I guess I was more used to like smaller bats. These look like those bug
huge.
bags that are in trees. You know, I was like, oh my God, those are massive.
I learned this in my research. Flying fox bats have a wingspan of 6 feet.
That's
Those
crazy.
things can get up to 3 feet in their bodies and then a 6-foot wingspan.
That's probably what these things were. I was like, oh my God, if they were flying around, they would look like one of those Chilean condors, Mary.
That's almost a pterodactyl.
I know.
Yes.
Do you want to know what else we wouldn't? There's not a joke part for this, but other things we would not have without bats and the way that they pollinate?
What?
Bananas.
Bananas, okay.
I've seen that video of the bat eating the banana where they go, well, this is a Catholic school kid does.
Oh, God.
What?
It's just...
Oh, I see, because it's phallic?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mangoes.
Yeah.
Love mangoes.
Yeah.
Avocado.
Yeah.
Oh.
That those are like some of the big things that bats will eat their seeds. There's a fruit bat that it's only a 3-inch bat, but its tongue is also 3 inches, so its tongue is the entire length of its body, and it gets inside the seeds and then it poops them out and helps pollinate.
Wow.
Crazy,
All right.
Who knew what bats were doing out there? We're over here using them as Halloween decorations, and they are pivotal.
They really are. That's the perfect word.
Yes.
Fruit bats, fox bats, all kinds of stuff. Wow.
Well, if you remember Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls,
guano.
Guano is very important to that tribe because they would make pretty much all their utensils and bowls and stuff like that out of guano.
You know what I learned about guano in my bat research?
What's that?
You can also use it to make gunpowder.
Ooh.
That if guano, when it's like manipulated and
The bat
stored
gat.
and everything done, you can use it to make gunpowder.
That's when Abraham Lincoln was a vampire hunter. He had a rifle that was made from, Now, is there any produce or anything in nature that we would be missing if we didn't have aquabats?
Joy.
All right.